Hello, writers! In this quick tips video, I'm going to focus on one of the most effective and easiest ways to improve your prose, and that's to use some verb magic. Now, I'll share some specific ways to do this in a moment, and I'll give you a few examples, because if writing was a spectator sport, I'd watch. With early drafts, though, you just want to get things down so that you can explore the characters in the story, and that often means some sloppy writing and weak verbs. However, once you're ready to polish up the prose because you want someone to actually read the thing you wrote, focus on the verbs. Using active, specific, descriptive verbs will dramatically improve almost every sentence. So here are the tips. When you can, get rid of was, were, and is verbs, replace them with more specific descriptive verbs, replace passive verb constructions with active verb constructions, get rid of unnecessary filters, I'll show what those are in a moment, and avoid gerunds. Those are ing words that often travel with things like was, were, is, and are verbs. So to put this into practice, let's take a look at an example, like this one. He was walking down the hill when he tripped and fell, hitting the ground with a thump. Looking back, he saw that Sally, the girl he wanted to impress, was starting to chuckle. Then she covered her mouth and he heard her say, "Smooth move, Ajax." Poor guy. So this isn't bad, but the lines feel just a bit cluttered and soggy to me. I'm not experiencing the immediacy of what's happening. Let's get rid of the was's and see if we can get some more specific descriptive verbs in there. We'll cut unnecessary filters like looking back. We'll get rid of ing words, those are the gerunds, and make every part of the sentence more direct. If we do all that, we might get something like this. He strolled down the hill, tripped on a rock, and hit the ground with a thump. Sally chuckled. Smooth move, Ajax. I like that a little more. It gets rid of all the fluff. It allows the reader to experience the action more directly, and it's more concise without losing meaning. Now, for the second example, let's take a look at something in the passive voice, like this. The squirrel was being chased by the dog. It was a big, mean dog that kept trying to bite the squirrel until the squirrel turned and jumped onto the dog's back. Okay, this has a lot of action and it should feel exciting, but instead the sentences just seem a bit blah to me. Part of the problem is the passive verb construction. So to make this more active, let's switch things around so that instead of the squirrel having something done to it, the focus is on the dog that's doing the action. Also, I want to get rid of the gerunds like being and trying, and the filter the squirrel turned since it's not really necessary. And if we do all that, we'll get something like, the dog bolted after the squirrel. It lunged and tore off a tuft of the rodent's fluffy tail. With the squeak, the squirrel shot into the air and landed on the dog's back. All right, I think that's better. But I'm not sure about the with a squeak construction. I feel like that could be more direct too. And so if we replace that with something more action-oriented, we'll get, boom. The dog bolted after the squirrel. It lunged and tore off a tuft of the rodent's fluffy tail. Scree! I'm actually not sure what sort of sound a squirrel would make when it's getting its tail fur plucked, so I'd have to do some research on that, but we'll go with scree for now. The terrified squirrel shot into the air and landed on the dog's back. Now, the thing I like about this is we're kind of feeling the squirrel's surprise. It didn't expect to end up there. And things feel like they're happening in the writing rather than being explained to me. One note, though, I think you could replace that last line or last part with the terrified squirrel shot into the air, landing on the dog's back. And look at that. You get an ing word, a gerund. Hello there, Mr. Gerund. So even though it's a good idea to get rid of gerunds most of the time in favor of more direct active writing, you probably won't want to get rid of all of them. The same goes for to be verbs like was and were. Every now and then a was, were, or is necessary. But most of the time, things can be improved by replacing these with more direct descriptive verbs. That's it for this one. Follow me for more quick writing tips. What we're talking about here connects with videos I did on description and dialogue that you can check out. And if this helps, please click the like button below. Let me know in the comments what else you want me to focus on. Happy writing, y'all.